Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for hopping on here. I just want to share a little bit about my KvCore stuff with you guys, just kind of give you a little background on what I do with KvCore. I've actually been trained by the original folks who did conversion whenever it was conversion before. Anyway, Kiara, do you mind if we can mute people? Would that be okay? And we can just you can field the questions and let me know what they are. Do you mind doing that? If you don't mind. Sorry, I have ADD and I will lose my train of thought if not. But anyway, so anyway, like I said, I've been doing this now for about 2 years that I've been helping people with KvCore. And training on it. I've personally coached over 1,000 agents on KvCore, and I've consulted probably 10,000 agents on KvCore. Let's see here if anyone has. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Kiara. I appreciate that. All right. So anyway, I do know a little bit, and I've I think I can share some tidbits with you guys just to kind of get you started. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break this down into segments. Okay, so we're going to kind of just go through KvCore in different segments, and we're going to explain to you what does what, and then of course the advanced stuff is going to be next week. So we're not going to get into the heavy advanced stuff. This is going to be very basic. But anyway, when you come into your KvCore dashboard, this is what you're going to see. Now, if you're looking at the old version, you can switch right here and you can go back to the old version. This is the new KvCore. Okay, so the interface looks a little different, but that's really about the main changes so far. KvCore is working on some other things, but right now that's pretty much about it. Okay, so if we go over here, you'll see your name. Obviously, the next thing down is going to be your smart number. This is very, very important to know how your smart number works. Your smart number is smart enough to know the people that are in your system. It is not smart enough to know the people that are outside of your system. Let me give you an example, okay? Joel Shelton has been texting me. He says, text, please. Joel is a lead in my system. So if Joel responds to me, it goes to me. If I respond to Joel, it goes to Joel through a text message, okay, through our smart number. Now, let's say that Joel we're going to assume that Patsy here is not already in my system. We're going to say that Joel's friend Patsy is looking to sell her house. She is not in my system. Keep that in mind, okay? Okay, so Patsy is not a lead in my system, okay? Now, what that means is this. If Patsy were to call my smart number or text message my smart number, that was assigned to me by EXP and KvCore, the one that you originally get by yourself. If they were to reach out to me, if Patsy were to reach out to me, that would not go to me because that number is a round robin number through KvCore and EXP. Okay, very important that you guys understand that. So that is a round robin number that you are assigned. In other words, if someone gets a hold of that number and they are not already a lead in your system, it will round robin to the next available EXP agent in your area. Okay, very important to understand that because I do know some people who get that smart number and then they start advertising it. They're going to put it on their business cards and they're going to put it on all this different stuff. If you do that and you're using the corporate number that was assigned to you, you are going to absolutely have to get your own smart number because you're giving leads away to other agents. Okay, so please understand that. That's very, very important. Now, in order to get your own smart number, you're going to go over here to Marketplace. You're going to scroll down to Smart Number Add-on. And for $27 a month, okay, you can have your own smart number. Okay, now the way that this works is they will assign you a smart number, and then what will happen is everyone will be messaged through that smart number that is your own personal smart number. Once that happens, you can put it on your business cards. I've got it on my truck. I've got it on my billboards. I've got it everywhere because that's all I want people calling if they are a lead. If they are a buyer or seller lead coming in. Okay, so very important to know that your smart number is not your smart number until you pay the $27 per month. Okay, the other features that it offers, and I know a lot of you guys are in California, so I don't believe this is available in California. You can call record. In North Carolina, we can record our calls. So obviously I could record every single conversation between me and my clients. As long as one party knows, that's the law here. As long as one party knows the call's being recorded, then we can do that. I'm not sure about California. You would have to check with your state broker. Other than that, or other states as well. Okay. Other than that, you can also set it up to where I save my smart number as KvCore calling. So whenever KvCore rings on my phone, I save it in my phone as KvCore. Whenever it rings, I know it's a lead. If I'm at an appointment for an hour and I miss every single phone call, okay, if I miss 10 phone calls and 8 of those are Zillow, 2 of those are leads, I'm going to have to call 10 people back if they don't leave messages just to find the 2 leads. Well, the cool thing about this is if I miss that call, they're going to put them right here with their telephone number as a new lead, and it's going to start text messaging them with a campaign right off the bat. Okay. Now you can go in and set up your campaigns and stuff like that. That's something we're going to talk about a little bit more in the advanced stuff next week. But setting up your campaigns is very, very time consuming, very difficult task. That's something that we offer in our KvCore Bootcamp. If you guys want to find out more about that, just go to KvCoreBootcamp.com and you can see what all we offer. And there's a side-by-side comparison of what we offer for that in the Rockstar package. So you guys can check all that stuff out. Just KvCoreBootcamp.com, Kiera. If you want to pop that in the chat there for people, that'll be great. So they have it. But anyway, the next thing over is going to be your website. Obviously, you can go in and see your website directly from here. Just click on that. You've got your profile over here. So if we go over to profile, there's a few things that you can go in and do on your own. Not a problem. You just go in here. You click on edit profile and you can set all this stuff up yourself. Go in here, put in the phone numbers, the email addresses, put in your about me, put in your signature, all that stuff. You can do all that stuff if you want to. We do offer a service to do that. That's our KvCore Bootcamp. That's our setup service. So we're going to do a lot of things for you as far as that goes, and turning on your triggers and turning on your alerts and making sure your automation's running at top capacity, and setting up a buyer campaign and a seller campaign for new leads that are not default campaigns. These are custom campaigns that I personally use. So, we do all that stuff, and we got a 10 video series type thing with an email signature and all kinds of stuff. You'll see it all at KvCoreBootcamp.com. It's $97 if you guys want to do it. No, I'm not here to sell it. Just wanted to tell you, if you don't want to do all this on your own, that's an option for you. Okay.
Shannon, we do have a couple questions in the chat box, and just letting everyone know right now, I did put the KvCore link in the chat box as well.
Cool. Let me see what those questions are real quick so I can kind of go ahead and question about smart number. Let's see. What does Joel see when he texts you? I'm not sure. Let's see. Does the smart number work like an alias? No, it just comes through as your smart number. It'll just read out your, so mine's 828-398-0145. It'll just come across as 828-398-0145. That's all. It won't show up like a Google Voice number. A lot of times will show up as a spam call. You don't have that issue with the smart number, I've noticed. Is that kind of what you're asking?
Absolutely. And then Joel, do you want to unmute yourself so you can ask Shannon your question?
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Joel.
I've been with EXP since 2017, started with conversion, but, haven't delved into it for lack of being hit by a tornado and a hurricane over the last 2 years. I've had my life disrupted, but I've played with it some, and you can set up these text, you can go in there and set up like camp or track 1 or track 2 that you've got on listings, have those on a sign writer and text in. If I do that, if I set up those codes myself, are those being shared round robin as well?
Well, here's the thing. If someone else is using the same number and the same code, yes. So for instance, like one of the things we train in our one-on-one coaching is we talk about home 101, home 102. We talk about home value. Those are very common terms, right? So if we've got the number 555-1212 and you and I have the same number and we both put home value, it's not going to know where to send it. Does that make sense?
I'm in a very rural area, and none of the other agents are using this feature. So I've been able to get in there, and I thought I was getting all those leads. I think I was.
You may very well be. You may very well be.
But I can tell you this: when somebody calls that smart number, It does not go directly to you. It round robins between all the agents in your MLS.
Exactly.
That are EXP agents.
Exactly. So you've got to be real cautious with that, guys. I mean, you will end up giving leads away all day long if you're not. So, Joel, did that help?
Yes, I think $27 be well spent.
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to get with you later on the other stuff for sure. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Joel. So if you guys need to go in and change any settings or change your password, simply just click on password here, change password, super easy. You can get into, editing your websites if you want to. That stuff gets a little crazy, a little hairy. I don't recommend it unless you really know what you're doing. And those are things that we'll talk about a little bit more in the advanced type stuff. So, all right, moving on. Let me go ahead and go back to the dashboard here. Okay. So give me just a moment. Let's see here. All right. So KvCore 2, and I see an issue with it today already. KvCore 2 has its own, there we go. It's got its little quirks about it. So you got to really watch out with KvCore 2, the new KvCore. They're trying to update some things. They're trying to make some things better. And you're going to notice little things that pop up. Like, for instance, that the whole thing was a big, long bar, and I had to exit out just to be able to get to it. A lot of times you'll notice that that the leads won't show up down here. If that happens, just switch over to KvCore 1 and the leads will show up. I don't know why that happens, but it is something inside of the new interface that is causing some issues, just to give you guys a heads up. The next thing over we're going to go to is the recent activity. This is everything that's been going on. So if Mike's been sent a text message, Sharon's been sent a text message, all these people have been sent voice messages, right? So whatever's been done, it's all going to be right here. The next thing over is going to be your notifications. So for instance, I need to call Crystal Phelps, right? So I would simply just click this from my computer. If you notice, it says, note your phone will be called before the party is connected. That means that they're going to ring your phone. So keep your AirPods attached to your phone. Don't do it. Don't try to attach the AirPods to your computer. I have people ask me that all the time. It's not going to ring from your computer. It's going to call your phone first. Hence the reason you get your own phone number. You call it KvCore. You know it's a lead coming in, okay? Or you know you're dialing out a lead, okay? You can choose whichever phone number if they got multiple phone numbers here. You can also log the call whenever it pops up and they've called. It's going to say outbound or inbound. You're going to type in your note, whatever your note is, right? And then you're going to say contacted, not home, or bad number. Do not hit bad number unless you know 100% sure that it is a bad number. It will delete them from your system, okay? You can snooze it 20 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours, 1 day, 1 week. So if I didn't want to talk to her right now, I could say snooze for 3 hours, it would go away. Snooze for a day, it would go away to tomorrow, so on and so forth, okay? The next thing over is your email. You have to do this part yourself. We cannot do this. And even with our KvCore Bootcamp setup, we cannot do this part, because what happens is you're going to have a Google thing here and an Outlook thing here. If we were to log into your Google account, I don't know about Outlook so much as I do Google, but if we log into your Google account, and Kiera, I'm sure you can back me up on this one, as soon as we log into it, you're going to get logged out, and Google is going to flag your system for us logging in from a different location and them not knowing us. Okay. It's not pretty. Okay. We've had people get logged out of this before, logged out of their Gmail, and they can't get in. Once you do, you're going to go to your Google settings. I like to turn email off, calendar on, and contacts off. You can do it however you want to, but here's why. The email is going to duplicate in your KvCore system. So whatever's in your Gmail is going to be in your KvCore. Whatever's in your KvCore is going to be in your Gmail. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have those turned off because you're going to have double emails. Okay. The calendar on is because when you go to set calls, and we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes, when you go to set up a call for someone, it's going to attach a calendar invite to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. And so you're not even going to have to log into KvCore. It's going to say, call this person. It's going to be as an appointment in your calendar. My thing is, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. So I love this feature personally. Contacts, if you leave those turned on, everybody that you've ever emailed in your entire life will now become a lead. Okay. So be careful with that. Add contact, add call, add note, add task, blog post, send email. Not going to go into those. Are very self-explanatory. If you want to go ahead and click on over here, you can add someone's name. So if I wanted to look up, let's say I wanted to look up Joel, right? We're talking about Joel there. So I can type in Joel, bring up Joel Shelton, just simply click his name. Okay, now I know to get rid of that. Another little quirk that they've got going today. Now, when you're at the dashboard, there's a lot of things going on the dashboard. So I tell everybody, make your calls, do your task. Brian Tracy wrote a great book called Eat That Frog, right? Talks about doing everything first thing in the morning. Knock those out, right? Now, as soon as you do that, you're going to scroll down here, and I like to use this hot leads button. You see new leads, new texts, new emails, hot leads. I like hot leads because hot leads is who matters most right now. Okay, so think about that. Hot leads is who matters most right now. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that link, and then it's going to bring up all of these people. This woman here, stop all text. I guess she wants me to stop all text, right? But this gives you an idea of who matters most right now. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to respond to all of this stuff and all of these leads first. These are the most important people. Then I can go over here and click on new leads, click on new text, click on new emails, make sure I've gotten everything out of the way. Okay, that's my recommendation for you on how to handle that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your dashboard. Okay, as we look at your dashboard, you're going to go through and you're going to try to find, has anyone saved properties? Now, you can actually click the properties button if you want to, and it'll show you all of the people that have looked at properties on your website. Every property that they look at on your website is tracked. Okay, so let me give you an example here. If this thing will ever come up, my goodness, I apologize. My internet's moving slow today. It's kind of cloudy outside. You go figure that one, right? But what's going to happen is it's going to pull up all of the properties that people have looked at on your website. For instance, okay, Bradley Allen's looked at this, Teresa Blackwelder's looked at these, so on and so forth. So what I can do is I can scroll through and I can find if anyone has a heart or a fire around any of their properties. Now, so far, no one does, but if they did, it would show up right here. I would also be notified that the system has already reached out to them via text message or via email or both and said, hey, I noticed that you were looking at 1476 Wingfoot Drive in Denver. Can I get some more information on that house, or would you like to take a look at it? Those are automated emails that are going to go out on your behalf automatically without you doing anything. Okay, so, and it will let you know that those went out. The next thing you want to do is you want to go through and look and see, okay, all right, so no one's really saved anything. So maybe I might want to go text one of these properties to someone. Now, why text a property that they've already looked at? Very simple. The reason you want to do that is because if you text them the same property they've already looked at, in their mind, they don't know that you're big brother watching them. Okay, so when you click text, you could go in here and say, hey, Carneal, I just wanted to reach out to you. I was looking through the MLS and I ran across this great property. I think you might like it. Text me back yes or no if you think it'll be a good fit for you. Now, Carneal is going to look at that and go, wait a minute. I was just looking at that house. This agent really gets me. He understands what I'm looking for, right? So that's kind of a little subtle stealth way of going through and finding properties to send back to people to get them engaged. Okay, now what we're going to do next is let's find, so we'll just use Carneal here for an example. Okay, we're going to click on Carneal. Now she's an active lead, but if she were a new lead, it doesn't matter. We're just going to kind of show you the back office of the profile and how it looks. Now this is different in KvCore 1. In KvCore 1, you've got a more options button down here. You got to scroll down and find them and all kinds of stuff. Everything's on the front page now. With this, even the address, you can add the address right there. So it's a lot easier. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on this right here. It's probably going to be grayed out, but you're going to click on this right here and make sure that it turns green. That's going to validate that information. It's going to go through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, so on and so forth, and see, does this person use this email address anywhere on here? And if so, if this person's name was Bob, for example, it would change Carneal to Bob if I wanted it to do so. Okay. Now,
I have a name, Shannon. The little ribbon.
What's that?
Does the ribbon have a name? The green ribbon?
No, it really doesn't. It's just a validation report. Is all it is. That's all it is. It's just to run the validation. So if you log in and you see this gray, it's just click it. That's all you got to do. Okay. And it'll run a validation for you. Okay. Now you can see here, right here, look at this text message. I did not send this. Hi, Carneal. It looks like you're doing a few home searches. If you want, I can set you up on an alert service that sends matching properties. They're listed on the MLS, blah, 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 blah. I didn't do any of that. All that was automatically done for me. Okay. So that's part of what we do with our custom campaigns that we talk about, that we build out for the buyer and seller custom campaigns. Okay. Now it tells you obviously what they are: buyer, seller, renter, vendor, agent. Over here, you can put in hashtags. Hashtags are a great way to find people, just like you would in Instagram or in Twitter or whatever. You would type in a hashtag and it would pull up a bunch of different people. Same thing here. So for instance, if this person's looking in Denver, North Carolina, I'm going to say this as Denver, North Carolina as a hashtag, because if I get a listing in Denver, I can then send it to everyone at one time through the Smart CRM, which we'll get into here momentarily. Okay. The insights is the same thing as ratings was in KvCore 1. So my rating system is a little different from KvCore's. I think it's a little bit more easy to understand. Theirs has algorithms and all this stuff. Mine is simple. If they have a valid phone number or a valid email address, one of the two, I give them 3 stars. If they have both, I give them 4 stars. And if they have both, they're talking to me, I give them 5 stars. Okay. So that's pretty much the simplest way I know to do it. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes, why you want to rate them. Your summary, this is everything that they're looking at on your website. Going to break everything down for you, price wise, all that good stuff. You can also click on down here to transfer the lead or share the lead. I never recommend transferring the lead unless you 100% trust the agent you're transferring it to. I always share the lead with view and edit privileges only. So for instance, if I wanted to share this, with anyone, it wouldn't matter, right? I could literally share it with Brent Gove, right? I could just type in Brent's name, boom, I could share it with Brent. Anyone in EXP you can share a lead with. Now, the good news is once that's happened, Brent receives that lead. He can see everything on this back office right here, right? So can I. So I can literally see, has he done anything with this lead? Has he moved this lead from an active to under contract? Am I expecting a referral fee? So that's why I use the share with view and edit privileges. Okay. Everything that goes on right here, you can scroll down and see everything that this person's done. You can see if they open the email or not. If they click on an email, it'll tell you all kinds of different stuff. Okay. You can move your people around by just simply clicking on, like if they were a client, you just click on that and it would change. Okay.
Shannon,
yes.
did you say that when you share a lead or transfer a lead over, you have to put those privileges on it, or it's automatic?
You want to give it view and edit privileges. So when you click on this, it'll say view and edit or view only. You want to give view and edit privileges so that they can edit it as well. Okay. If you're referring the lead, I would never transfer the lead out unless it's somebody you trust 100%, because it's going to go away from your system and you're never going to have that lead again. You're not going to know if they followed up with them. You're not going to know anything about it. Over here, this is the new calls. We talked about that earlier. Here's the cool feature right here, schedule a call. So if I don't get Carnelia, right, I can go in here and type in our note. She says, call her back in, a month. I just go in here and put a month, right? I choose the time. And then I sync with Google. That's going to put it in my Google Calendar. If I click repeat calls, then I can go down here and I can say, okay, I want to call her 10 times over the next week, every single week until I get her. And it'll automatically schedule those calls out so that you don't ever forget to reach out to people. Okay. Add note. You can go in here, type out your note, whatever note you want to type out. I always pin it to the top. That way it shows up right here. So I can see when I'm scrolling through my leads, going one by one by one, I can look and go, oh, they're not going to buy till November, so on and so forth. Send email, send text, very simple. Not going to get into that one. Voicemail drop is a great feature. So if it's not as good as Core Video, in my opinion, but I like voicemail drop. So I literally, as this lead came in, I could do voicemail drop, right? It's going to bring up all these different things here. Now I get 150 credits or 150 for $20 a month. You can get 250 for 30 or 500 for $50 per month. But basically what I can do is I can go in here, like for instance, this new seller lead, for example, right? So I get a new seller lead in, I play the message. You can hear. Hey there, Shannon Pyatt here with eXp Realty. You recently had asked for your home evaluation through one of our online sources, and I just wanted to reach out to you, let you know there's a real person behind here. Don't necessarily have to go into that, but that gives you an idea of what you can do. So you can either personalize the voicemail and do a personalized voicemail, or you can go into the Smart CRM, which is what I'll show you here in a few minutes, and show you how to really, really use that system. Okay. The video is the same way. You're just going to click on video. Now you get a free version of this. You'll get 10 single send emails per month from KvCore for free. But you cannot send them as a text. You cannot reuse them. You cannot save them. You cannot do anything else with them. Okay, you can't use them in campaigns, nothing. So I can, because I pay $30 a month to get unlimited video, I can send it as an email. I can send it as a text message. I just go in, type out my subject, click on my video. I can open the recorder or select a video, and I can send them a video that I've already created for anybody, or I could do that in a mass scale. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute as well. Okay. More actions down here. These are all different things you can do. Find them on Facebook, so on and so forth. You can kind of play around with that. Your property alerts automatically set up on behalf of you after 48 hours of activity on your website. That means if you haven't done anything on your end whatsoever, but that client has gone on your website and looked at properties over the last 48 hours, it's going to automatically go in and set up search alerts for them on your behalf. Okay, based upon what they looked at over here, right? So it's going to go in and set up their search alerts for them. Now you can go in and set those up and critique them and everything, and I do recommend you do that, but the system will do it for you on your behalf. Okay, you can add campaigns here. Now, like I said, we've got our campaigns, the custom buyer, the custom seller. That's the same ones that you would get. So you can add those. You can go in here to market reports. You can send them a market report every 14 days. I just usually use like a zip code or something like that, right? And I'll send them a market report every 14 days. Listing evaluation for seller leads. So this would actually give them a valuation of their property. It would do that every 30 days. It would just automatically send it to them. And then the seller report is if you have the listing, you can actually click on that, and it will go in and look at the activity on that listing. So if it's 123 Main Street, the system's going to go in and look at 123 Main Street ever so often, and it's going to email a report to the seller. It says, Mr. Seller, X amount of people have looked at your property online, X amount of people have inquired about your property, so on and so forth. So it kind of does all that for you. Profile details. Now you just go over here and click edit details. Before you had to scroll down to more options and it was a little screwy. Now you simply just go in here. You just go in here and fill out whatever you have to. You can set up the anniversary or the birthday text email right here. That's where you would have an automated system send out the email or the text for you on their birthday or their home purchase anniversary. Now, moving on to CRM, the Smart CRM. This is where the magic happens, in my opinion. Okay, so as you can see, I've generated what I've got. All these seller leads that have come in the past day or so, right? So I literally could go down here and I could click on this, and I could literally go in and do a video message, a mass video message to everyone. If I've already got it saved, all I do is click on it, and you want to keep it generic when you're doing this, right? So I'm going to say something like, hey, it's Shannon here with EXP. I just wanted to reach out to you. I noticed that you were on our website. You'd requested your home value, blah, 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 right? That kind of stuff. And I can do a video, and I could reuse that video over and over and over. Now I can go to 25 rows here, or I can make this 250 rows if I wanted to do so. Okay. So if I make it 250 rows, that means I can reach out to 250 people at one time. Okay. So it's a pretty cool feature. I can also mass text message those people. I can scroll down here. I can send a voice message to the ones that have phone numbers, right? So something I like to do is I'll go in and I'll click on send voice message, and I'll do a voice message like what you heard. And then I'll shoot a quick text message to them, and I'll say, hey, I know you might be at work today. I didn't want to bother you while you're at work. I just wanted to let you know I left you a voice message. I hope to hear from you soon. Something like that, because they will read the text messages. Okay. Now, all this stuff here, we're going to get into next week, because this is all advanced type stuff, how to get this stuff, how to set up these hot buttons and stuff like that. You can go over the filters. You can go over here and choose, new lead, right? You can say, okay, I want to pull up just people. We're talking about hashtags, right? So let's say I want to pull up just people in Asheville, right? So Asheville, North Carolina, I put in Asheville for my hashtag. And here we were talking about the ratings. Remember, I can say I want people that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe I just want people that are 3, 4, and 5. And simply I just scroll down here and hit apply filters. And then that's going to bring, I don't know how many that'll bring up, just a few, but that brings those people up right there, and I can just reach out to them directly. Okay, so those are all different things that you can do, and you can mass do this on a mass level. It's most important to send a video message first. I would send a mass text next, and then a mass email last. Remember, only 55% of emails are opened, 99% of texts are open. Okay, so just a little bit on the smart CRM there. Now, moving on, because we got to be conscious of time here. We've got about 25 minutes. And I want to make sure I can hit how to market some things for you. And the other stuff, like I said, we're going to go over that in depth next week. You can build out a manual listing that's for sale by owner, expired, something like that, right? You can build out your own manual listing there. We're just going to use MLS listings for today's sake. And basically, you just go over here to filters. You can choose all, which is everyone within your MLS, my listings, which are only your particular listings, agency listings, which are all EXP. You can search by listing agent. You can search by location. There's all kinds of parameters here, but let's just use this one because we're going to pull up just EXP listings. Okay. And then I basically could scroll through, and Alexis is a good friend of mine, right? So I literally could just click on Alexis here. And now I know that Alexis would allow me to use her listings. A lot of people would not. Some people, you want to ask for permission, right? So if you need to ask permission, their phone number's here. You can click their name to email them. Just say something like, hey, I saw your property over on Maryvale Way, and I just wanted to see if I could possibly market that through KvCore. I know Alexis is going to let me. That's not going to be a problem, but you may want to check with someone first before you do that. Okay. Now, there are some things that you can do through Marketplace, and we're going to talk about that next week. That's a little bit more in depth, so we're not going to get into that right now, but we'll talk about that one next week. If you go over to more actions here, you can send it as a text, send it as an email. You can print a flyer. You can boost the property, which is where you pay KvCore to boost the property for you. Okay. It's $150 for 3 weeks worth of advertising. You can click post to Facebook. If you do, it's going to open up a new browser. It's going to have the photo of the property there. All I simply do is just grab the first sentence, something like that, right? Okay. Just grab that first sentence, copy it, go right over here, paste it right in, right? And then I hit ... so that they get more information. I recommend you share it to your newsfeed or your story. You share it in a group. When I say groups, you need to belong to as many yard sale, trade sale, buy and sell groups, swap shop groups, things like that. You want to belong to as many of those as possible, because what you're going to do is you're going to advertise in those groups periodically. You're not going to overdo it because you will get banned. Okay. But we'll talk about that a little bit more probably next week, because that gets more in depth in how to do that through Marketplace. Share on a page you manage. Simply just click on share on a page you manage. Then you can go down here and you can choose whichever one you want to share it to. So I want to share it to Shannon Pyatt, right? I simply can do that. Then all I got to do is simply just hit post to Facebook, and it's going to be there. So I'm just going ahead and sharing that one right now because it doesn't matter. I know she's going to allow me to do that, right? So I've shared that on there. The next thing I can do is I can go over to my Facebook business page. All right, so you can see here, right, there's all that information, right? And so this is, I literally could go in here and I could share this to all the groups that I belong to or that I run. I could share it to pages that I run. I could also boost that post, which we're going to get into a little bit later on, but those are little things that you can do with that lead or with that ad once you've done it. Over here, you can post to Pinterest, Twitter. Post to Craigslist is a tool. You simply just click it one time. It's an add-on, an extension, if you will, through Google, right? And so now all I have to do to post that is simply just click on publish. Now, if you look, it's got my smart number attached to it right here. See there? Text this message to that, or this code to that number. Okay. So all that's set up within Craigslist. Over here in marketing, we're not going to get into that right now because there's quite a bit. Let's see. Well, there is a couple of things I want to hit over here. Just a couple of things. The CMA builder, the birthdays and anniversaries, we'll get into that next week. But the CMA builder, you just go in, put in the name, the address, and then build CMA. It's going to build out a CMA for you in about 30 seconds. You get 50 of these per month that you can use. So it's a pretty cool little feature. It's not the most accurate feature in the world, so you're going to want to run a real CMA, but this is just to get something in people's hands really quickly. Okay. Over here, schedule mass emails. You can send mass emails kind of like with constant contact, like having your own constant contact. So I would just basically choose my status. Let's say I wanted to send it to all my sphere, type in my subject, type in my email, whatever my email is, right? I can do HTML code if I have that right here by simply just putting that in. And I can also use advanced editor over here. We're not going to get into that right now because that's a little, it's advanced, right? So we'll do that next week. That'll be something that will hit a little bit harder there. That's how you can send video and all kinds of cool stuff through that. Okay. Now, the lead engine, this is where it all happens. This is where all your leads come from. So you can host a virtual open house, shows you how to do that. Millions Mapped is an app you download and give to your buyers. It's kind of like, for those of you that were like me that bled red at one point in time, right? Then you understand there was a program called Smarter Agent. It's basically the same thing as Smarter Agent. The leads come to you rather than going to the listing agent. Okay. Pitch sheet. That's something we're going to hit a little bit more in depth next week. That's more about for sale by owners, expireds, things of that nature. Call capture. So the call capture feature is pretty cool. However, if you don't have your own smart number, do not use this system. Okay, because you're going to be giving leads to someone else. This is kind of what Joel was talking about. So as you can see here, I've got home value, foreclosure, reduced, book, all these different things. And so there's all these different ones that you can make up. So literally you would just go into add new, you'd type in something like home value, like it's what we were just talking about, Joel. And then we could put in here, thanks for your inquiry. We will be in touch soon. Then you would hashtag it home value, assign your smart number, make sure you assign your personal smart number. And then that way you would be able to go out and make like I make up little business cards that have my legal information on the back of them. And on the front of them, they say something like home values in Asheville are on the rise. To find out what your home is worth in today's market. Text home value to 828-398-0145. Then I leave those everywhere. I'll put them on gas pumps. I'll carry a little piece of tape and stick them on a gas pump when I'm pumping gas. I'll give them to the gas station clerk. I'll give them to waitresses. I'll give them to whoever. You're able to carry those around and give those out. And that's just a free way of generating some leads. So that's a pretty cool little feature that I like to do. And there's a bunch of stuff we can talk about in call capture. And that's something we go over in depth in the Rockstar one-on-one if you guys decide to do that one. All that stuff's at KB Core Bootcamp. Okay. Over here, let's see, the landing page. So if we go to the landing page, and you can build out a landing page. Now, I want you to understand the difference between a landing page and a squeeze page. A landing page is simply, they land here. They have nowhere else to go. They can't get any more information until they put in their email address, their phone number, and click see list now. That's it. That's all they can do. A squeeze page squeezes them in. It lets them look at 2 or 3 different properties before it asks them for more information. So you're going to get a better response out of a squeeze page than you are a landing page when you're working with buyers. When you're working with sellers, you're going to get a better response out of a landing page. Okay, so just keep that kind of keep that in mind. Lead generation, you can go over here. You can add a video. It'll put a video down at the bottom. You can add the YouTube link. You can add a URL where they're going to go after they log in. You can change the submit text button. You can say, see it now, right? If you wanted to, and it would change it right there. See it now, right? You can put in a hashtag, and then you can require phone or not. You can also change the background. You can make it look something different. If you wanted to do foreclosures, you could have foreclosure there, right? You could also scroll down here, agent recruiting, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different ones that you can use. Now you can change in the information here. So if I wanted to make this Los Angeles, right, I could literally make this Los Angeles real estate deals. I could double click on something to get rid of it. So if I don't have fixer-uppers anymore, I can click on those. They just go away, right? So you can do that. It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of their landing pages. I use something called listings to leads. If you guys are familiar with it, I don't know why it went away. Okay, there's one that I'll show you. We'll get into that next week. We don't have the time to do that this week, but I'll show you the difference between the landing pages. There's a huge difference between a listings to leads landing page. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, just because I want to show it to you.
Are you connecting the listings to landing page to your KvCore?
I am. Yes. Oh man. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to find it I'll find it for you, and we'll go over that next week. Okay. But yeah, you can definitely connect it, and we'll actually get into a little bit of listings to lead stuff next week too, because I think that's really good for seller lead generation. And you guys are going to love some of the features that are on there. Okay. If anybody wants to get in there and play around with it, I'll give them a 30-day trial. It's just shannonl2l.info. So shannonl2l.info. I don't own listings to leads, but the owner is a very, very good friend of mine, and he gives me a 30-day trial where everybody else gets a 14-day trial. Okay. So, all right. The IDX squeeze page. If you want to build out an IDX squeeze page, this is where you're going to get your buyer leads. Okay. So simply you can go in here and you can build out a single property website for anyone. Just put in the listing ID, put in your source, the hashtag, and then you could do those links and just share those to, oh my goodness, people are driving me crazy here. I thought this was on do not disturb. But you can share those to your social media. Seller squeeze page, I'm not a big fan of. I don't recommend it. It's usually not very accurate. And I don't care for the photo, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay. The market report, same thing. It's okay. It's not bad. The best one is the multi-property. And so simply I would just go in here, and let's say I want to do one for, let's do Hickory. Okay. So Hickory, North Carolina is an area, and it has to auto-populate. If it doesn't auto-populate, it's not, oh my goodness, people. I'm in a group text, and you can tell it's just going crazy over here. And I thought I had do not disturb. Oh, I thought I had it on. Okay, let's turn it on right now. Sorry. Okay. My ADD, I can't handle things like that. I get focused, and I've got to stay focused or I lose everything. So Hickory, then I can go over here and I can choose single family. And then I can scroll down here. I leave all this blank. These are the pages they're going to land on. So if I just want them just to land on just listed, I can do just listed waterfront, just listed whatever, but I'm just going to do just listed for now, right? For time's sake. Then we're going to go over here to source, and I can put in social media because I'm going to put it on more than Facebook, right? Hashtags, I'm going to go ahead and put that as Hickory, right? So I want that to be Hickory. By the way, Kira, maybe you know what's going on with this. Tell me, because you're smart, right? You're really smart when it comes to computers. Maybe you know this. When I start typing, and I don't know how to get rid of this, but it automatically tabs. Maybe it's something you and I need to talk about. But as soon as I do that, it automatically tabs something here. So if I type in hello or something, see there, everyone, and tab, and it automatically copies that to my to my computer, and I cannot get it to stop. It's driving me crazy. So I don't know. What's that?
We'll look into that.
Yeah, please, because it's driving me crazy. It's on a Mac and it's in Chrome. I don't know what, and I've tried everything in the world, but see what you can figure out because it's driving me nuts. Okay. Facebook cover photo. Now, this is not compliant in all areas. In North Carolina, it is. I don't know about in everyone's state. Well, I know in everyone's state, it's not compliant in certain states. That you can't advertise, even if you're not advertising the address, you cannot use someone else's photo to market their home if you don't have their permission. Okay. In North Carolina, we can. So you guys might want to use, if you're in California or wherever you're at, you might want to use these down here that says, even if outside of your search results, because like I said, you're advertising someone else's home that is not necessarily yours or an EXP agent necessarily. Okay. Now you can set your default views here. You can do immediately. I don't recommend that. I do 2 to 3, never go above 3 in my opinion. Then just generate that link. I'm going to copy that short link right here. Okay. And then I'm going to jump right back over to my Facebook business page, right? And then I'm simply just going to create the post. So here I would say something like, looking for a great home in Asheville, Carolina. Look. See there? You see what it's doing?
Yep.
No further than here. These were just listed this week, right? And then I'm just going to paste that link in there. See what I mean? Look at that. Now, you saw me copy that, right?
I did.
You see what it did? What it did? Would that not drive you nuts as much as you and I do copying and pasting?
It could be something. Do you have Grammarly on your computer?
I do.
It could be something with Grammarly.
Really? Okay.
But that's just my initial thought. We'll look at it.
Yeah. See, okay, let's see. All right, so you can see here, it brings up this house. So let's say I don't like this house. I'm like, it's okay. I'm just going to copy this information. Now, a little trick here, you can go down to Publishing Tools. Click on Publishing Tools. You have to recreate the ad, but watch what can happen. You're not stuck with that ugly photo. Click Create Post. Paste it right back in. Now I've got multiple properties to choose from. See there? So now I can change my photo. See there? That's a much better photo, right? Okay. Now I can go in here and I can share it now. I can schedule it to go out on another date. So if I don't want it to go out to tomorrow morning, I could literally schedule it to go out tomorrow morning and it would do that. Oh, Asheville, look at that. Oh, I caught myself. Hickory. I about put the wrong city in there. So now all I got to do is just simply hit share now, and it's going to put it on my Facebook business page. Okay. So, and then you go through and do this. I'm sorry.
Is Facebook pulling those images from your listing?
It's pulling those it's pulling those images. Remember when we were talking about choosing right here, where we were talking about choosing this, right?
Yeah.
So it's pulling whatever is on the MLS that's the most recent listing.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what that's doing. But here's the thing, that may or may not be an EXP agent. You follow me?
Yeah.
Right. So that might be Remax. And Remax says, you're not using my listing, right? Well, in North Carolina, we're allowed to do that. Okay. In certain states, you're not allowed to do that. That's why you would choose one of these down here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Did y'all get together as a state association and decide to do that, or an MLS? How did that come about, y'all being able to do that?
That's just something that has never been an issue here. We've always said that because of IDX, we can share.
We have a lot of agents in our market. They'll put in the broker-to-broker remarks. I allow you to advertise this on social media, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ours is just kind of one of those things. It's just, it's never really been an issue. But I know that more stringent states like New York, California, I think Washington State is one of them. A lot of the other states out there say that they cannot do that unless they have permission, written permission. Okay. So, but we do because what we did as an MLS is we said, look, it's out there for Zillow. It's out there on the IDX. Why can't we share it? Right. Because we're all the whole point is to bring a buyer. Right. So it is allowed here. Again, I would check with your state broker before you do that. But you'll see if you click on it, it just takes you right to that page, and you'll see that it's probably one of the most recent listed ones. Yeah, see right there. Now this was the most recent listed one. That's why that one popped up first. Did you see that? The ugly one, right? Yeah. What I called the ugly one, right? But I like this one better, so that's why I went with that one. Okay. So and then again, you just boost it. So you're going to click on boost, right? And here I like to use automatic. I don't change that. Now I like to use learn more from my button, but down here you want to change your audience. You want to make sure your audience is what you want it to be. So you just go to create new, and I would type in Hickory. Okay. And if Hickory smoked, whatever. Can you tell that drives me nuts?
Yeah, it's a waste of life.
Well, it's ridiculous because you'll save something, and you'll get this. You'll get this, Kiera. You'll save something. You'll save a link that you've copied, and then all of a sudden it recopies the. And when you go to paste it, it goes the. So I don't like to do 25 miles. I like to do 15 miles, right? Just kind of keep it a little hyper local there. You want this to be right in this area, okay? And then simply just save the audience. So now the audience is saved. It's Hickory. Now I can go up here to special ad category. So I don't know why they don't have these flip backwards, but that's the way Facebook's got them set up. But you have to click on this, and then you have to scroll down and click on housing. If you don't do that, then what's going to happen is you're going to get your ad banned from Facebook, okay? Because you have to have their housing rules and regulations or whatever. I go 10 days, $10. That's it. I don't spend a lot more than that. I mean, you can do longer if you want to, totally up to you, right? But literally you can see here, it's going to reach what, 133 to 385 people a day. So I just hit boost post now. That's it. And it's going to automatically boost that post. Maybe, there we go. Boost post now. And then as the leads come in, I'm going to go back through what I taught you guys earlier with every single lead. Now, what I like to do when we're talking about KvCore, one thing I want to show you guys about this smart CRM thing is what I like to do is I go through and I make sure that if I don't have time to call them, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm so busy with agent attraction and with coaching that I don't have time to call all my leads. I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to click on the most recent ones, whatever they are, right? The most recent ones. And I'm going to make sure I send them that voice message. I'm going to do a video message, and I'm going to do a text message to them. That way they've heard from me by voice. So they got a voicemail that goes straight to their voicemail, right? It does not ring their phone. So they're going to have a voicemail. They're going to have a text message telling them I left a voicemail. And then they're going to have an email in their inbox that's a video from me. So that way people are not getting ignored, and it doesn't take you long at all to do that. You can do a video, create it one time, go through, click on video message, scroll down, select video. I'm not going to do this right now to these people, but it'll show you right here. I could choose one, let's say, URL for, okay, whatever. I could just click use, and then it would automatically put it in there. And then I literally would click on add my signature and hit send, and it would send that video out to everyone. Same thing with the voice message. And then you just do the text message all at one time. You keep it very generic, but that's a great way to follow up with people if you don't have a lot of time. Okay. So guys, that's pretty much what I'm going to show you today. We're right at the top of the hour, so I want to be respectful, but let's go ahead and field some questions here.
I think we took care of most of the questions. I've been responding with people, but if we can just, if Michael has his KvCore up, if he can share his screen and we can just get a little 1-minute example of setting up that smart number.
Sure.
Most of the people on the call are pretty new, and that'll be their first step.
And like I said, these things you guys can go in and do yourself if you want to, but if you don't have the time or you don't want to deal with it, let us do it. We do offer that at KB Core Bootcamp. We do the custom buyer and seller campaigns for you. We do the email signature for you. We set up all your automations. We link all your social media accounts. We give you 10 bite-sized 10 to 15-minute videos breaking down basically what I just did, but in a slower version and in bite-sized modules, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like drinking from a fire hydrant. All that stuff there, guys, is $97, right? So it's not very expensive. Now, we do offer an upgrade package if you want to sign up for one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. There's 4 30-minute Zoom sessions. They're recorded. We go in and we really dive deep. We help you build the squeeze pages. We help you build the landing pages. It's really customized. That's, if you do that, it includes the boot camp. It's $347 for that if you guys want to do that. Everything's at kvcorebootcamp.com though, so you guys can check that out.
Thank you, Shannon. All right, we're setting up our smart number here.
Yes. Okay. So what you want to do is go over to Marketplace. Click on Marketplace all the way almost to the bottom.
To the bottom.
Click that. Okay. Click on smart number setup. Oh, you're in KvCore 1. That's why yours looks so different. Okay, you're gonna have to find it. There you go, smart number add-on.
Smart number. So is this the one that charges monthly, or is this the one?
Yes.
Just,
yes, that charges monthly. So go ahead and click that. Learn more.
And is there one that's assigned just automatically, or no?
There's one that's assigned automatically, but remember that's the one that round robins to everyone else in EXP in your area. So if the person is not a lead in your system, it's going to round robin. If someone gets a hold of your number that is not already in your system, the lead will not go to you. That's essentially what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Until you do this. and then you simply click add to KvCore. And then you're going to have to go in and put in some information, see, and then it's going to ask you for your credit card and all. And then usually about 24 hours or so, they've got your smart number set up. And then what I do personally is I removed my cell number from everything, guys, literally everything. My cell number is gone from the only people that get my cell number is clients once I'm currently working with them. Right, I'll give them my cell number. Then I'll say, hey, what I've been texting you from is my office number, but here's my cell number. Just please be understanding of it. If it's after 7 p.m., I'm probably not going to answer because I'm with family, whatever the situation may be. Right, and then other agents that I'm trying to recruit basically are the only ones that get my cell number. Everybody else has my smart number, and everything is funneled through KvCore.
So when you do a Facebook post or something and put a phone number in there, only your smart number?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Because you can do it however you want to, but here's the thing. I want to know when that phone rings and it says KvCore, I know it's a lead. You know what I mean? And the other thing about it is if I miss that call, then it's automatically going to put them into my database in KvCore and start a text message campaign with them. Now, it will not do that if you don't get us to help you do the setup, because that's something we have to go in and do manually. It doesn't come to do that automatically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you use like your identifier or agent number on your Facebook profile? Do you put your smart number or do you put your cell number?
Everything I put on Facebook, any social media, is always my smart number. I don't ever advertise my cell number to anyone unless I am trying to recruit them, just to be honest with you.
One question and I'll shut up.
You're good, Joel. Go ahead.
Show me where you turned off emails and something. I remember it was in the very beginning. Where's that menu?
Okay, cool. All right. So you're going to go to right up here under the email. Move that out of the way. The email tab right here.
Right.
Once you set up your email, once you click to give permission to your email, then you're going to click on Google settings down here, and you'll turn email off, calendar on, contacts off, and then save settings. Can I make a recommendation? If I were you, Outlook has issues with KvCore, even though they've got it as an option on here. I've seen a lot of people have issues with it. I would open just a Gmail account that you use specifically for this, and then forward everything over to your main email.
Well, so you're saying something that would redirect?
I would, because if you're going to want a Gmail account attached to your KvCore. The only recommendation I would have on that is right down here in the far right-hand corner on KvCore, there's a little blue support thing there. They don't have a telephone number, unfortunately.
Sure.
But if you click that little blue support thing and explain to them what's going on, maybe they can give you a workaround around it. But that I know of, there is not.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well as Shannon's. So this has been recorded. I will be putting it in the AIM Facebook group today if you guys want to take another look at it. If you have any questions, please comment on that video so I can make sure that whether your questions are for EXP or Shannon or me, and we can get you some help, we can respond to that in the comments on the post. So thank you so much, Shannon, and we will see everyone next week for our advanced training.
Sounds good.